Hey guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about one of the best trilogies of all time. Yeah, one of, didn't say the best. There's like so many other trilogies out there that is better than Dark Knight. Yeah, I'm just going to say it straight out. But this is still a really, really good trilogy. And the trilogy I'm talking about is about one of the best, baddest, darkest superheroes of all time. And I'm talking about Batman. And of course, the director, Christopher Nolan, and how he did all these three films. So let's get started, shall we? With the first one. So Batman Begins, right? The first movie in the trilogy. You know what? I remember my dad buying it for me, but not literally at Walmart. Los Callejones where they sell movies for like $5, and he got it for me because fucking kids love Batman. And I remember I'd only like not rewind, but like skip it to that one scene in the movie where the car's like driving over the rooftops. I loved that shit as a kid. So it's been years since I watched it because if I'm being honest, the only movies I rewatched my life most is Dark Knight Rises and Dark Knight. So rewatching The Batman Begins, it's a really good origin movie. It's not as hardcore or as dark as the other two movies, but it on its own, it came out 2005. It's actually pretty good. But before I start praising it, I do want to talk about the things that I kind of noticed that either outdated or just didn't work for me. Yeah, when you open the movie, right, and like you feel that scope, that this is an origin story, the first mindset I had was like, oh yeah, this is a Christopher Nolan movie, alright? And then we get to the train scene where fucking Thomas Wayne, Bruce was like, Daddy, how did this train like made? And he starts giving exposition, like, oh, I built this train, it all started here and there. I was like, oh, yep, it's yeah, this is a Christopher Nolan movie, alright. The exposition in this movie is just, it's just dumped on you. Which is, it's nothing new criticism of Christopher Nolan to, like, from other movies, Inception, Interstellar. So that was one of the other things I just caught off the bat that I didn't really enjoy. Another thing I didn't really, didn't really like about this movie is, at least the first third of the movie was its action. Some of it is just, like, really cutty. It's like, it's cut weirdly. And that's something that comes back later on in Dark Knight Rises, but like just the weird way the fight scenes were cut was it was kind of off. Like something I couldn't even tell what the fuck was going on. And my final issue with Batman Begins is the first act is great, but it's really convoluted. And I'm meaning we're flashing back to the kid. Ra's al Ghul's in this movie. Scarecrow, motherfucking Capone. Falcone, there we go. Motherfucking Falcone. Like, it feels kind of all over the place sometimes. And I'm like, Jesus fuck, like, there's how many villains are in this movie? It feels like a lot. But then, the second and third act, it mixes it all together smoothly. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a great movie. And now we're gonna talk about the positives. Christian Bale, he gives his all, man. He never fucking fails. Like, he is the perfect embodiment of Bruce Wayne. And he does a really good Batman. I don't think he was the best Batman, just straight off the top. Because, he has that voice. And he goes like this. And then the second was like, and then the third one's like a, so it's, yeah, he's not the best Batman, but I do like him as Batman. But as Bruce Wayne, he's the GOAT as Bruce Wayne. Another thing that I really, really like, I was saying earlier, how it felt convoluted earlier. I like how it interconnects and it just gets a little bit more smoother. Right in the second act, when you learn about Joe Chill and how he connected to Falcone, it was just everything from there on. It just started feeling smooth, It started feeling really, really smooth, and I really liked that a lot. The rooftop scene, like I was saying from earlier, I still love that shit. I think I would go back and replay it all the time if I could, but I don't have a DVD. I used HBO Max. But if I did have the DVD still, I definitely still rewind it all the way. Jim Gordon, I thought Gary Oldman was like fucking great, right? And speaking about just casting in general, the casting in this movie is on point, except for one character. But for the most part, everyone, like Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul, Cillian Murphy as Scarecrow, he was great. I fucking loved it. And yeah, man, I think majority of the casting in this movie is great, especially Alfred. Oh my god, Alfred, wow. Michael Caine was fucking, I love Alfred so much. Michael Caine is the GOAT. he portrayed Alfred so damn well. And then aside from like the choppy action scenes, everything else, again from the second to third act, it's actually really good. I can tell what the fuck is going on, especially that last fight scene. It's smooth. But at the end of the day, I have to give props to Christopher Nolan, because no one could have really made a movie like this a bit more grounded, right, than anything else. Because at the time, 2005, right, we only had Spider-Man movies and the X-Men movies, and then a year later we would have the Superman Return movie. But I feel like Batman Begins is what really changed the game for everything else. So yeah, Batman Begins is really one of the, maybe it's too early to say, but for now, it's one of the best origin movies, and it's up there with Spider-Man, 2002. And someone could argue Homecoming, because even though there's a lot of people who just prefer Tobey, I think Homecoming could also be up there. But just talking about Batman, and I think Batman Begins is one of the greatest origin stories out there. Alright, now we're going to talk about one of the best sequels, alright? The Dark Knight. And I'm going to start with his negatives first, because no movie is perfect. And there are no negatives. Holy, yo! The Dark Knight is one of the best sequels of all time, okay? Every scene in this movie is iconic, okay? The bank scene, when Harvey Dent, like, gets his fucking face on fire. Even the little Bruce Wayne scenes, like, everything after he, like, gets attacked by the dogs and he goes meets Rachel with Harvey Dent at the restaurant. And he's like, oh, I own this restaurant. That's still iconic, because they have that little speech, right, about what does it mean to be a hero. And then Harvey says that line about you either die as a hero or live long enough to become just, or live, pushing that line. He says, like, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And I just, oh my god. And the Joker, are you kidding me? Heath Ledger. Look, I wasn't really online at the time. If I'm being honest, all I did around the time when Heath Ledger announced was either watch Cubo or watch Sesame Street. Right? What was that, 2009? No, not Sesame Street. But Heath Ledger, man, what a great Joker. Like, now, now everyone, when they hear whoever the next Joker's in, they're like, oh, he has to be as good, or oh my god, it's not gonna be nowhere near as Joker. And you know what? They're right. Joaquin Phoenix, he was a great Joker, but he wasn't nowhere good as near as Heath Ledger. He was just nowhere near that, but he was still fucking great. And the cool thing about Joker is, like, two actors who portrayed that character won an Oscar, Heath and fucking Joaquin Phoenix. But just what Heath did with this character of making him seem chaotic, but secretly like having a plan and not knowing his origin, and just what a fucking villain. And of course I give credit for Christopher Nolan for directing him, but like Heath like lived him out. Another thing I really like about this movie is that Nolan really pushed the boundaries of Batman to the next level. Like, even though his arc was complete, it was more about what happens to the world around him, not necessarily what happens to him. At least for the first half. It's just, he pushed the story to the next level, and I think every sequel that has been better than the original does that. Empire Strikes Back, Spider-Man 2, Karate Kid Part 2. Yeah, that's right, I said it, don't judge me. I also like what Nolan did, realistically, in a world where a Batman would exist. Like, there are copycats. I'm talking about, like, the first scene when Scarecrow's trying to, like, negotiate a deal, or, like, someone complains about the drug, and you see, like, copycats of Batman. That's really, really real. You know how many dumbasses would try to pretend being Spider-Man if Spider-Man was real? I would be one of those dumbasses. But you know what? At the end of the day, there could only be one. And I do like how Batman addresses that. How once he's done with the attack, he's like, look, like, I wanted to inspire good things, but I guess I did inspire them, just not the way I thought it'd be. And I like that idea so much. It's something that's really real, that shows how stupid people can be sometimes. Also, I really like how there's not that much CGI in this movie. Like, at all. There are some scenes you can tell when there's CGI, right? Like, I believe it's when Batman rides a motorcycle and then just, like, the wheels turn. That's CGI. I'm pretty sure that's CGI. But everything else in the movie, just, you're like, there's no way that shit was CGI. It just, and then you look behind the scenes like, wow, that little thing was CGI? But everything else is real? And you're like, holy fuck, like, this is amazing. And speaking about shots of CGI, every action chase stuff, every action scene in this movie is crafted to perfection. The truck scene, alright? The beginning heist bank scene, alright? And the final fight where the clowns are actually hostages. It's just, oh my god, it's so genius. The Joker was a genius in planning that. We all gotta say that Joker was genius, alright? But even like the little scenes, right? Like the tension when the Joker starts targeting people, it was just so tense. And I think that's what the Dark Knight makes. I think this is what the Dark Knight succeeds. It's very tenseful. Also, one other thing that worked really well with the story is Rachel's death. I guarantee you a lot of people, for the first time they saw, they did not know Rachel was gonna die at all. I'm pretty sure everyone was like, oh, well, probably to save Rachel, but Harvey will still get some fun. No, that was not the case. The Joker's like, I'm gonna tell you where both of them are. And he did, but he didn't say which was which. He just gave the locations. And that was not heartbreaking, but it was just fucking shocking that a movie at that time could come out and do that. Like, it kind of feels like another movie was trying to do that a few years later, but, you know, maybe it worked the first time, but then the more you rewatch, you're like, yeah, no, it didn't really work. Also, how can I forget the hospital scene? That's probably top 5 comic book moments of all time. That's probably top. And I'm not just talking when the hospital blows up. I mean when the Joker confronts fucking Two-Face and he's giving them this delusion that he's control when really he's not, because you see very closely, you see that Joker's really holding the gun the entire time. He gets control of like what happens. But just that conversation itself, and when Harvey escapes, and then when Harvey turns bad, it's so sad, but it's like, it's sad that they did it in such a genius way. Also, I have to give a shout out to actors once again. Of course, Heath Ledger. Alfred, again. I love Michael Caine. Fucking Christian Bale. Even Maggie Gyllenhaal, who in my opinion did a better Rachel than Kate. Kate kind of felt. Kate, well, for me, honest, majority of a specific role in the trilogy feels like they're going to play by someone else, which is also a big critique, but I'll get to that in a bit. But Maggie Gyllenhaal just stepped it up a bit more than Katie Holmes in the first one. So I thought she was a really big standout. Especially, you know, her death scene. Because that was not easy to watch. But, like, that scene really fucks up Harvey and Bruce. And Bruce is Bruce just... He's almost gone, guys. He's almost gone. Alright? When Rachel... He's almost gone. And the Joker literally almost wins. Okay? But yeah, when Rachel, like, dies, yeah, that hits Harvey and Bruce really badly. One of them breaks, and one of them almost breaks. And I think we all know where that leads. To the ending, which, the ending of... There could have not been any perfect... No better ending than the one we got, guys. Seriously. I mean, with the boat trick, about who's gonna blow up who. It was so fucking intense. Really, that's the best way to describe this movie. Intense. It's logical. No, not really. Be the point. It's smart in its own way. It's more of a crime movie than a superhero movie. And, like, the acting is on top. The direction is fucking amazing. Although, you know, since the Oscars are so prestigious bullshitters, they didn't want to nominate because, like, oh, it's a superhero movie. Which is fucking stupid. And, well, that's tough for another day. But still, the fact that we didn't get nominated for Best Picture really upsets me. And just the way it ends where, like, the Joker wins. And I know people are like, well, Batman didn't really kill Harvey. More like, he had to push him down. I'm like, no. Batman killed Harvey unintentionally, but he still did it, you know? It's like, you didn't want to spill apple juice when you hit it off the table. I mean, that wasn't your intention. Maybe you're just trying to move some stuff. But at the end of the day, you still dropped the apple juice, you know? So, Batman at the end, he kind of did kill Harvey. And the way how, like, Harvey got manipulated and the Joker wins at the end of the day, that was some really hard. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And it ends with Batman taking the blame and Jim Gordon, like, I was like, damn, this is kind of a really dope movie. I mean, really fucked up ending, but a dope movie. And like, no movie is perfect, okay? But at the end of the day, The Dark Knight is just one of the best, not comic movies, one of the best movies of all time. And this might be the only one where it's an A+, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. It's just perfect. And now we're going to talk about The Dark Knight Rises. And yeah, I think I'm going to start with the positives with this one first. I know, I'm talking about the negatives usually first. One of the positives, get to it. So Nolan, for the most part, I I like the movie. I like it a lot. I think Nolan strikes again. It's not the best one out of the three, obviously, but I still think he made a really great ending to a trilogy. It feels way more massive than it did than the other two did. And I'm not just saying that because like there's one time where like the screen is like a normal widescreen, then it boom, it fits your fucking television. It's more like it just feels more massive. It's more of a city widespread where the football stadium, the bat plane. I'm calling it the bat plane because I don't know what else to call it. But it just feels much more massive than the other ones. I do like how Bruce Wayne is kind of a little bit broken in the beginning of the movie, right? And like he has a little bit more psychological damage. How like Bruce Wayne's not there no more. It's more like Batman's guilt is there because Bruce Wayne's kind of like gone, kind of, but not really. And I really enjoyed that aspect so much. The acting once again was phenomenal. And then here's what I'm going to talk about the one kind of character in every Bat movie where I feel like there's a problem. The love interest female characters. And here's the problem I have with like the trilogy as a whole. Whenever there's like a love interest of a character, it doesn't feel like that person. It doesn't feel like that role is meant for them. It felt like anybody else could have played them. Katie Holmes, anyone could have played them. Even in Dark Knight Rises, anyone could have still replaced Maggie Gyllenhaal. Maybe not the best of a performance, but same character at the end of the day. And with Talia al Ghul, yeah, they could have gotten literally anyone else to play her. I mean, she's a good villain, but like it's kind of a step down from Joker. But I don't know. I just feel like Talia al Ghul could have been played by anyone else. Also, the big reveal that I was the child. I was like, I don't know. I feel like I kind of saw that in my way. I don't know why. I didn't even know if she was Talia al Ghul till like last minute. But anyway, when I first saw her, I was like, yeah, something's up about you, but I just don't know what it is. This movie brings back the weird cuts. Like in the first one, the weird cuts. But no, this one's like weird cuts mid conversation. It'd be all like, hey, I like French. And then we'd be right back there. Like, it just cuts off. Not necessarily the sentence, but just like right off the bat. Like, not a second to breathe, it just cut to the next scene. I thought that was really fucking weird. Also, there's a lot of leaps in this movie you have to take story-wise. Like, Batman one day is out of the fucking, like, cave, and the next day in Gotham he's there. I'm like, that's kind of a big leap. And there's other big leaps, like the plane scene. I mean, the plane scene's fucking great. That's still really big leap. Also, the whole bomb. Yeah, the whole Batman escaping from the bomb, and it was fixed. I was like, yeah, that's kind of a really big leap to take. And of course, once again, the exposition in this movie is just Jesus Christ, man. The exposition in this movie is just ugh. It's like that one drunk friend you have just like vomits out of nowhere while you're taking him home. Yeah, that's kind of like the exposition in this movie. It's just ugh, every here and now and you're like, that was, come on, man, that wasn't necessary. I kind of already knew what was going on. But anyway, those were my only negatives with The Dark Knight Rises. But for the most part, yeah, I fucking love The Dark Knight Rises. I don't think it's a great finish, but I do think it's a satisfying finish to the trilogy. I love how Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in it. He's always a win. I know people were like, he's gonna play Robin, and Christopher Nolan was like, well, yes, but technically no. He is playing a version of Robin called Blake, and his nickname is Robin, but he's not really Robin. Even though, at the end he takes up the mantle of Batman, or at least that was heavily alluded to. Bane is a step down from Joker, but he's still a really great menacing villain. Way more menacing than Talia al Ghul. Aside from the whole he's buff and shed, he just breaks the bat physically and psychologically. I mean, seriously, he put him in a fucking cave and watched his own city fucking burn. He broke the bat psychologically and physically. And when he broke his back, yeesh, look, I have back problems, but goddamn, I don't know if I'll be able to live. Some big buff fucker was like, I will break you. It's just, oof. Yeah, that's just as terrible. Also, like, one of the best things about this movie is Alfred. Oh my god, Alfred is the GOAT. When he thinks Bruce Wayne dies, and he's fucking crying, dude, I got tears. I don't even give a fuck about, like, if he died or not, but because I mean, obviously he lived because he's seen it already. But oh my god, even when I knew he lived, and Alfred was like, "I'm sorry, Master Bruce," I was like, "God damn, this hurts." Oh, it hurts to watch my boy Alfred get hurt like this. Man, Michael Caine's the GOAT. And of course, I gotta talk about Anne Hathaway. Although sometimes I don't know. Here's my one thing about Dark Knight that I don't know if a lot of people talk about, but I find it weird. I mean, of course, it's a superhero movie, so Batman like wears a costume and shit. But Selina Kyle, I feel like she could have like not had the mask. Bruce Wayne really wears the mask to protect everyone he loves. Selina Kyle, yeah, we don't know shit about her. We really don't. We don't even know. So like, I feel like if she took away the mask, it kind of would have been more logical sense. Although I get it, because you know, comic book fans, if you don't give them what they want, specifically, they're gonna like tear the shit out of you. And some of them are kind of racist when it comes to casting. But for the most part, I don't know. I just feel like she could have taken out the mask and it wouldn't really not change anything. But for the most part, Dark Knight Rises, is it perfect? No. Is it somewhere as good as Dark Knight? No. But it doesn't have to be. I mean, it would have been nice if Dark Knight was like better than the Dark Knight. But being better than Dark Knight is impossible. Why? Because of the Joker, the storyline, how more intimate it was. Dark Knight Rises is a bit more bigger and grander version of that. And it's just done in such a more skeptical. And it's just done in a much more spectacle way. And at the end of the day, I mean, who really here thinks Dark Knight Rises is a bad movie? If you do think it's a bad movie, let me know why. I think it's a good movie still. Alright guys, so those are my 3 reviews of Dark Knight Trilogy. If I had to rank them, number 1 would definitely be The Dark Knight. Number 2, only because I rewatched it a lot as a kid, it would be Dark Knight Rises. And then number 3, Batman Begins. I know some of you might be like, how the fuck dare you put Dark Knight Rises or Batman Begins? I don't know guys, it's just preference, just my opinion. But yeah, that's my ranking. Where do you guys rank the Dark Knight movies? Do you put Batman Begins as number 1? I know some people have that opinion. You guys like fucking hate Dark Knight Rises and it's all the way down. What are aspects of Dark Knight that I missed that you guys love about it? Let me know down in the comments below. Until next time, see ya.